Hey everybody, have you ever had something occur that was really magical, where you got to see the inner workings of the universe playing themselves out on your behalf over time? It's amazing how, sometimes we call these things coincidences or, synchronicities or whatever. And one of the things that's been really blowing me away lately is the elegance of consciousness, how incredibly elegant consciousness actually is. There is such a beautiful way that, the universe kind of like weaves itself into different energies and different tonalities and different realities on our behalf, and also like with us. It's not really doing it completely on our behalf because we have to be the ones that are choosing. And choice is the thing that sparks creation. It is creation. When we choose things, we don't have to know how they're going to occur, but that's where we step in and say, I'm here, let's go. This is what I'm asking for. This is what I'm choosing. And the universe is like, yeah, let's, it's like you give it the fuel, the energy, the, ingredients for the recipe to create masterfully. And we need to then keep choosing and also keep showing up and doing things and being things to move all of it along. We never have to know what those things are. It's so amazing and simple in that we so often, like, so many things present themselves to us, and then we can just, it's like there's a new situation, a new reality, a new possibility, and we can step right into it and start playing with the gifts that the universe presents. Sometimes those gifts show up in the form of things that we have more of a judgment about, and we think they are negative, let's say. We're like, oh, this sucks, But one of the things that I've learned over the years and really kind of trained myself to do as much as possible is stay in the question and really be asking, what is right about this that I'm not getting? What are the infinite possibilities with this situation? And there's so many questions. How does it get better than this? Just so many questions. What can I be or do to bring this to fruition with total ease? What is consciousness asking of me today? What is my life and my business asking of me today? And asking to be chaos, because the more order we try to impose on everything, order shuts down the movement of the universe, it shuts down possibilities. And order comes from the thoughts, the judgments, the decisions, the computations, the conclusions that we have. And it actually is where when we're like, I need to control this needs to happen, it needs to look this way. It's so, we are constantly getting in the way of magic. And we think we need to control because that's how most people function, and that's how we grow up, and we grow up being educated in control. Instead, what if we looked at, what is in front of me? What are the energies that are available right now? What is in front of me? What am I aware of that nobody else is aware of, and what can I choose? And as we do that, all kinds of, like, every question that you ask brings new energies, new possibilities, new gifts your way. And then it's like, wow, every moment, every day can be a new universe of choice, of possibilities, of creative juice, of the elegance of consciousness. And this is how consciousness works, and it is how the universe works. And we just have to get out of the way. And I would say now more than ever, like right now, my body is like, move. Now more than ever, there is some serious magic available, but we will not be able to access it. You will not be able to access it from your mind, from thinking, from judging, from concluding, from figuring out, from going to how. It's like this is a moment and a time more than ever to lower our barriers, to get more vulnerable, more present with ourselves, more quiet, and allow ourselves to listen and to hear more than we ever have those whispers, because the energies of possibility, the choices that we can make, the creative juice that's available, it all shows up in the form of energy, and our awareness is our greatest gift to actualize those things. And when we function from that more and more, we prioritize that as a space, we really we put ourselves in the greatest possible, situation and scenario and way of being. That is where we begin to be part of the elegance of consciousness. We contribute to the elegance of consciousness. And this requires us to make choices that seem insane, nobody else would get, nobody else would understand. They seem absolutely crazy. And as we do make those choices, we are playing. We're playing in the symphony of possibilities, as Dane here would say, one of the co-creators of Access Consciousness. We're part of that. We are a part of it. So what part of it are you playing? What part of it are you contributing to? What part of it are you diminishing with your desire to control? And it's so amazing, because it's like when we control, we diminish. And when we go to chaos, we expand. When we go to question, when we choose things that make no sense to anybody else, but they make sense to us energetically based on what we are uniquely aware of, we expand the entire universe. And this is how you create your life from and as magic. This is an awareness that, these awarenesses, many, many, many awarenesses and spaces of being and creation, I have been exploring for 15 years, very, very full on. I find it so fascinating and fun and juicy to create my life in this way. It just makes sense to me. I never, when I was younger, I always thought that, business had to look a certain way, and it would always involve me not being happy, me suffering and having to go to a job that sucked, that I didn't like, and then, having to, 9 to 5, and then you can have the rest of your life, and I wasn't really ever willing to do that. And so when I found the tools of Access Consciousness, I was really like, okay, here's something that finally makes sense to me. And I have no idea if it's going to work. I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to try it because I have nothing to lose. And I really, as soon as I got my hands on these tools, I just started jumping in and using them and seeing, like, really just everything that I was learning. I was like, well, let me apply this and see how it works, So I invite you to do that with everything I bring on this channel. There's also Dr. Dane here has a tour of consciousness on his YouTube channel. And, there's just so many resources out there. And if you would like some really personalized, individual, like more concentrated support, and also access to some phenomenal tools and creative possibilities, I invite you to play with taking some classes and Access Consciousness. For me, when I take a class, my creative possibilities explode exponentially and grow, and it's like everything that I'm asking for can show up faster, way faster, because I am putting myself in the conversations that I really want to be part of, and gifting myself putting myself in the slipstream of consciousness, gifting myself and empowering myself with more tools and conversations and spaces of change. And as I do that, it's just phenomenal what shows up. And it never makes sense. It doesn't really make sense to most other people, but I don't care. My choices do not need to make sense to other people. They make sense to me. And that's something that shows up for me more and more the more I play with this. So I'm going to be doing a Access Consciousness Foundation class in just a couple of weeks in Boulder, Colorado. And then also my 6-month Generative Business Pods program it's a deep dive into the exploration of like of all of this, like the living these tools, the being, everything that I've been talking about and so much more, being it, becoming it, so that we strengthen the muscle of choice as a reality, awareness as our greatest gift, following the energy, listening to the whispers of the universe. And it's a program where people they come, sometimes they don't know how they're going to pay for it, and then they flourish. They absolutely flourish with the empowerment of knowing that they are the creator of their reality. That is so much more of what I would like to see in the world. And when I do see people, really thriving from that program, which pretty much everybody does, it's amazing to me. It's always really it's a huge gift to me. So I love doing it. And it starts August 28th. So if you would like to have that kind of support, come and join us. You may have no idea how you might make it work financially, but I guarantee you, everybody that has ever chosen it, that didn't know how they were going to pay for it, there's a monthly payment option. They create it, and there's lots of people that have ease paying for it too. It's not, it's just wherever you're at. But we all get to, our lives work so much better when we empower ourselves to choose and to thrive. So what else is possible? Thank you for being here in the woods with me, and I hope you have a really beautiful day.